welcome back to the channel. Today I will be redrawing one of my old drawings and seeing what's changed, what's improved, what I still need to work on, and seeing how my overall tastes have shifted and changed. I'll be showing the original as I work through the new one. To start, I'll show you the sketches I worked on. They're in the sketchbook, which I only use for sketching really. I like to try to draw a little every day, even if it's not, a finished illustration. Just a little bit every day, and that's what this sketchbook is for. And so, I'd like to show you these sketches before we move on to doing the ding-dang thing. So, here we are. These are the sketches I did earlier to try to get a better idea of how I want this piece to turn out. Over on this side, I've got the initial ideation. I like them, but I thought I could give it another go. I ended up running out of time for this video to do all three, so unfortunately the Demon Girl and the Ghost Girl, Spectra, didn't make it in. I will make a part 2 for these ones. The original apple felt a little too disturbing for me this time, so I'm glad I gave it another go. These are the redrawings. I definitely prefer how all these came out. The apple is no longer super upsetting, which is always a bonus. I do really enjoy how the Demon Girl came out the second time too. I'm super excited to come back and do another part with her and Spectra another time. I used to draw the demon all the time because, edgy teenager things. Instead of redesigning my original drawings, I decided to try to just do my own take on the original designs to get a more one-to-one comparison. I wanted to focus on seeing how I'd do the same thing now. I'm going to go ahead and get started in this other sketchbook, and I'll see you again later. Here's the final sketch in the proper sketchbook. I think he came out super cute and spunky. Here's the original one to compare it to. I'll show it again at the end as a more direct reference to see the differences. Shout out to my Instagram, by the way, @FriendlySpectre. These are the colors that I decided on for this illustration. I started out with a flat layer of the lightest color to hopefully pull all the colors together at the end, but honestly, these colors should look nice together either way. But yeah, now that the boring parts are out of the way, let's get into the rendering process. It will be sped up, but I'll include a few slowed down close-ups so you can see the process in better detail. Also, I know that the voiceover isn't lining up with all of the parts perfectly, and I am super sorry about that. I'm still working out some of the kinks, since I'm still learning how to do everything, but hopefully it's not too distracting, and sorry for the times that my head pops into frame a little bit. Yeah, enough apologizing. I want to talk about how to work and get things done on a time crunch. I've got 5 tips for you today, based on what I've learned today working on this illustration. So the 5 tips are: compromise with yourself, prioritize quality over quantity, find shortcuts if you can, just do it and get it done, and remember, it might not be the best thing you do, but it might not be the worst, and even if it is it the end of the world? I'll talk a little bit more about each of these. So, the first one, compromise with yourself. What does that even mean? Basically, you are your own worst critic, 99% of the time. And if you allow that critical voice in your head to slow you down and stop you from doing the things that you want or need to do, you're never really going to get anything done, and you'll be sitting there wondering, what would have happened if I just did it. So, I propose that you find ways to work around the problems that you're having, the issues, without stopping yourself from doing the thing in the first place, or stopping halfway through. There were so many times during the process of working on this video that I wanted to just quit. But on top of the fact that I want to make videos, which means I will have to learn how to work through these things eventually anyways, I do also have a grade deadline. It's a great motivator, but it's not going to be here anymore after this week, and while that gives me the freedom of more time, it also gives me the problem of not having something that is making me do it, besides my own intrinsic motivation. I feel this is a problem for a lot of people, not being able to just do things based on your own motivation, because you stop yourself, because you're too critical, because you're too doubtful. Take a minute and really think about whether or not what you're doing is worth all of the trouble that you're giving yourself, or if you should just do it. Number 2, prioritize quality over quantity. As you know, I had 2 other drawings that I wanted to do in this video, but I was realizing if I tried to do all of them, none of them were probably going to turn out very well, and I would have a lot less time for the editing, so the editing would probably be even worse. And I thought it was better to try to do a good drawing and have a half-decent amount of time for my editing to get things to at least a semi-competent place. So, if you can, try to take on a little less if you're having trouble with a deadline. Find shortcuts if you can. For example, if someone offers you help and they are really willing and able to, why not accept it? I know we all want to do things for ourselves all of the time, but if a close friend, a family member, partner, anyone is willing and able to help, it's okay to take it. It's okay to ask for help. There are other shortcuts you might be able to find, but that's really a case-by-case basis. 4. Just do it and get it done. This one's pretty self-explanatory, but you will feel so much better once it's done, even if it doesn't meet your own expectations. It's done. You can take a deep breath, and won't that be a nice feeling? And my last tip. It might not be the best thing you do, but it might also not be the worst. And even if it is it the end of the world? I tend to get too caught up in my own head and my own self-criticisms, and it makes it hard to get anything done, and I know I'm not alone in this feeling. So, take a minute. Step back. Is the world going to end if your thing that you're working on isn't perfect? Is someone going to be mad or upset with you? Are you going to lose your job? Are you going to cause someone permanent harm? I believe that the answer to all of these, most likely, is no. And if that's the case, why are you wasting so much energy and time just feeling bad? I know that we can struggle with depression and not feeling good enough, but just find a way to detach yourself for a moment. Take a walk, play some video games, watch some YouTube, and consider, is this going to matter in a week, in a month, in a year? If the answer is no, just get it done, and you'll feel so much better after doing so. So here's the final piece and the original, and yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye bye.